chewy on some hot. Like I told Tish, I see when I.
Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to the Roast Session Central. I'm the Nigerian Nemesis, and in today's video, we are going to be rocking a giant skeleton deck for the ladder right here. Defensive shutdown deck. You counterattack with the Ice Golem and then put the Graveyard Poison combination onto their towers. The Knight Witch is such a strong card in the game right now. And we also have the E-Wiz, which is a very defensive card. So overall, a very strong ladder deck. But before we do get into that, I do want to start off with the question of the day, which does come from Hammer23 Baseball. And what he asked me was, if I could add any emote to the game, what would it be? And for me, I would add a dabbing emoji, because that would be super awesome. If you do it positively, like when you do a super nice play and you dab on them, I think that'd be hilarious. But even more so if you want to be sarcastic, if they like heal the ground or fireball the wrong thing and you dab on them, I think it'd be just so funny. So in the comment section down below, go ahead and let me know if you could add one emote to the game, what would it be? But here we go. Anyways, we are going to focus now on the ladder. He does have this Goblin Barrel Ice Golem going down to help us distract just a little bit. Not too bad. We did take the attention away from one of those goblins, but now we've got a counter push going here with the Ice Golem. We could possibly get our Graveyard going down on the tower. He does have a Rocket, so very well played with the Rocket, taking some damage off of our tower and taking down our Electro Wizard. So instead, I am not going to push with a Graveyard. We're just going to play some more defense with the Night Witch and slowly work our way up there. You don't want to be too aggressive when you are using this deck, otherwise you could get punished if they counter your Graveyard very nicely. He does have that Dark Goblin. So here we go. We've got our poison. I'm actually going to drop it over here. Wow, he has the Goblin Gang, Dark Goblin, and Princess. All three very good counters to the Graveyard. So this might be a tough battle. The way we're going to have to win this game is getting our poison down on top of the Goblin Gang and hopefully the Dark Goblin as well. And then being able to get some extreme value out of it. Our Goblins will do a decent job at cleaning up that Goblin Barrel. We are slowly taking damage, but not too much to be worried about. We just need to get onto that tower with one good Graveyard, and that will be the end of the game, since this is the best defensive deck in the game right now with the Giant Skeleton. Unfortunately, though, it is one of the best counters for it. It's playing a bait deck that does have the Inferno Tower. Let's go with a Giant Skeleton over here to the left-hand side, since he is winning on the right-hand side when it comes to damage, and it doesn't really make that big of a difference. He does have that Princess there on the right, so we will search for some poison value here in just a second. He is actually running that Inferno Tower, so poison going down on top of the tower and on top of the Princess. But it's going to be very tough to get our Giant Skeleton through anything. That isn't the main purpose of the deck in the first place, but it is kind of nice when the Giant Skeleton does get through. Log will go down right here, cleaning up all those goblins and doing some damage to that Knight. And now we can finally get in here with an Ice Golem and get our Graveyard down. And hopefully we can get some poison value. Let's get this poison down on top of the Gang right here. Gang is going to come out, as well as the Dark Goblin, doing some great work for us. Unfortunately, we were not able to get the Princess in as well, since he is spreading out his troops pretty nicely, but we still managed to get so much damage off onto that tower. He comes with a Knight and a Dark Goblin now, so we have to get ready and counter this. We could use our Goblins, but let's use the Goblins here on the left-hand side for that Princess and try and take her out. Very good Rocket there, stopping our Giant Skeleton and getting that Dark Goblin some more extra value onto our tower. We finally have the poison going down right here. Goblin Gang will get dropped into the poison, so this should be a very good Graveyard. He does have that Knight and he is going to log, so pretty solid defense coming from his end. But we managed to get his tower down to 12-21, looking very good in this matchup. Giant Skeleton will die to that Inferno Tower, but our goal is to get the tower down. Let's go ahead and log right here for the Goblin Barrel once again, because we can't allow him to get any more Goblin Barrel damage onto our tower, otherwise it will be in rocket range. So now we can finally get our Graveyard off, and this is the play right here. Poison going down on top of the Dark Goblin Princess and now the Goblin Gang, so much value coming out of that poison. Let's get our log down for the Goblin Barrel once again, and that should be the end of the game. If those skeletons stay alive, that tower is now down to 196 HP, so all we have to do now is defend and get one more poison down. And I think he knows this, so now he's rushing in with everything he has. Poison is down. Let's go ahead and log as well. That log should hit the tower before the goblins can do any damage to us, and we will secure that W. So very solid stuff there in the first game of the day. That will gain us 29 trophies and a nice silver chest, pushing us all the way up to 4150. So by the end of this video, we will try our best and push to 4200, see if we can make that a reality, hopping into this next game up against this kid from 8090. We've got a decent starting hand here with the Ice Golem and the Night Witch. We could go for an aggressive graveyard push, but we don't have our poison, so that's probably not the best play to make. Instead, let's go with an Ice Golem here on the left-hand side. Let it work its way down there and see if we can get to that tower. He is running a bowler deck, so that makes me wonder. It could be a graveyard deck as well, the original Splash Yard combination. We will see here in just a second, but our Giant Skeleton will be able to shut down that graveyard, and hopefully when it dies, take it out as well. Let's go ahead and go for an aggressive poison on top of the Tombstone and on top of that bowler, just to ensure that they both go down before coming onto our side of the map, so that we can deal with whatever comes. That Knight's going to work his way over to the Giant Skeleton, but unfortunately for the Knight, he will get shredded when that bomb does go off. I don't know if that's going to take him out completely. It will not. He's going to stay alive with a couple of HP left. He is running a graveyard deck, so Night Witch going down. She is such a great counter to the graveyard. We also have the E-Wiz and the Ice Golem, so very good counters for a graveyard deck, so I'm not really that worried about it. The Bats will try and help clean up, and the E-Wiz will actually get a couple of shots off. Actually, only one shot off onto that tower. So a fairly even start to the game. We are back to our Ice Golem. I don't think he has any solid counters for our graveyard, so let's go aggressive here with an Ice Golem, get our graveyard down, and if he does have like skeletons or something, they will go down to the poison. He's going to play his Tombstone in the back. Very interesting play there. The poison will kill all those skeletons. Ice Golem is still being targeted by the bowler and the Crown Tower, so we have plenty of skeletons onto that tower now, and he was actually forced to arrows, so good thing to know he does have arrows. But not to worry, we have managed to get his tower down to 351, and his bowler isn't even healthy enough for a counterattack. So overall, a very strong performance. He's going to have to work extra hard to get that graveyard onto our tower. Let's see if we can get some chip damage off with our goblins here on the right-hand side. Goblins are going to make it all the way to that tower, so that's some pretty good stuff there. And now he is rushing in very aggressive with a knight, meaning the graveyard. Yes, just like we knew it, the graveyard is out. We've got the log, though. We also have the Electro Wizard, so we should be fine here. Log going down. The Knight is doing a lot of damage to our tower since it is level 12. So much damage per shot. Let's get a Night Witch down over here and go for a graveyard push because offense is the best defense. We should be able to take that all out. Poison going down on top of the Tombstone as well as the Crown Tower because we want to make sure that that is within one poison range so that we can take it out at the very end of the game. But it actually looks like the Giant Skeleton will make his way all the way to that tower. So some very good stuff coming from him. We've got him on the right side now as well, playing some defense. We will try and create a counterattack. He's actually going to go for a graveyard on the opposite side since he did have the Knight there as a counter. E-Wiz going down to help defend against those skeletons. And now we have a pretty nasty counter push going back towards the other side of the field. So once that does accumulate, we will get our graveyard down with the help of the poison and then be able to do so much damage to that tower. So there he goes. The graveyard is not going to be going down, but our Giant Skeleton is on his way to that tower, and that's actually the end of the game, pushing us up to 2-0 with this very solid deck, as well as giving us 28 bonus trophies and a golden chest. So that's going to put us all the way up at 4178. We can hop into one more final battle and see if we can make it perfect on the video and get to 4200. So in this matchup, we are up against John KRLOS from Killer Ecuador. He's got a Goblin Barrel as well. Goblin's going down to counter that. Fairly solid counter. We might have to save our log for the barrel depending on what his other cards are. He's actually sending in another barrel and a miner, so very cheeky play, but he did not know that we had the log in hand, so we were able to counter him nicely with the log, taking down his miner and taking out those goblins. So I think we have a slight elixir lead. This is the perfect time for our Giant Skeleton to try and make it all the way to the tower. We will see what happens and see what kind of defense he has, because usually these miner goblin barrel decks always have the Inferno Tower as a defense. So here we go. We've got our graveyard going down. He does have the Skarmy. Let me go ahead and poison the Skeleton Army. Even though he does have the minion horde, the thing is he has no elixir right now. He will try his best with that goblin barrel to distract. But now the Giant Skeleton Bomb will go down on the tower and clean up the remainder of those minions. So a very, very solid start to the game for us. We managed to get our Giant Skeleton all the way to the tower, but now we do know that he does have a direct counter to our graveyard with the Skeleton Army as well as the minion horde, which is so solid at shutting down the graveyard. We will see here. It might be a little bit tough to get all the way to that tower, but we're going to have to try our best to get a poison off and take down the Skeleton Army as well as the minion horde in the same push. That's going to be the key in this specific game. So now we have our Giant Skeleton going down. He does have a furnace there on the right hand side. He will be getting a lot of chip damage off, but I have to ignore that because I don't have anything that I can defend against that with without spending too much elixir here on defense. So instead, let's go ahead and support our Giant Skeleton once again. We did have our log prepared. There it is. He's going to play the Skeleton Army, but now he doesn't have a counter on the graveyard, which is very good for us. So E-Wiz going down here doing a great job on defense, nailing all those minions down to one shot, and we managed to take the left-hand tower as well. So we are doing a great job. Here he goes with that Goblin Barrel once again. Goblins going down to defend against the barrel, and that's going to be a solid stop. That Furnace did a lot of chip damage, but not enough. He's going to throw a deep barrel. So Log going down right here. I will never miss those deep barrels. The only time I do miss those is if I'm not paying any attention at all, and it's like midnight and I'm just chilling in my bed. But here we go. We've got the Giant Skeleton and the Night Witch combination going down here on the right. So we could just go super aggressive and go for a graveyard. He will Fireball right there, and actually he's going to Log as well, just to ensure she does get taken out. But here we go, Ice Golem. We're going to play a graveyard now in the back. Let's get our poison down on top of the minion horde, getting some insane value, and maybe even, no, we will not. He will play the miner to defend against our Giant Skeleton, but the Night Witch is going to do a great job of taking out the miner. He's going to Fireball once again, doing his best on defense, but not having any energy to play offense, so now we have to just defend because we do only have 1,279 HP left. Log going down to take down that Goblin Barrel. He's going to send in another Goblin Barrel. Ewa is going down at the perfect time. We will zap all 3 Goblins with the Electro Wizard on that Goblin Barrel, and that's going to be another solid victory. So that's going to push us all the way up to 3-0. Perfect on the day with an absolutely clean slate up against John Krolos. So that's a very strong deck. I think you guys might have all the cards in this deck. Maybe it's except for the Night Witch, because obviously she is a strong legendary. Actually, we have plenty of legendaries in this deck. There are 4 legendaries in this deck with the Giant Skeleton, Night Witch, Poison, Log, E-Wiz, Goblins, Ice Golem, and Graveyard. If you do need substitutions, it's kind of hard to substitute the Graveyard because that's the biggest thing in this deck. But you can replace the Electro Wizard with a Musketeer. You can replace the Night Witch with a regular Witch or Archers. Just depends. And you can replace the Log for the Zap. So if you guys did enjoy the video, go ahead and smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for some more future daily Clash Royale content. And I hope you guys go on and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace!